Thank you. It's good to be here. Yeah, so I've been traveling between Maine and Key West on Unicycle for the past few months. I started on September 8th, and I've covered about, I think, 2,200 miles so far. Yeah, I try to do maybe 20 to 30 miles every day. It only goes about 8 or 9 miles an hour, so it's not super fast compared to, a bicycle or driving. But it's kind of nice because it slows me down, and I've gotten to see a lot more places and I think meet more people this way. I have been unicycling to work and school for a few years up in Maine, and I got interested in the kinds of infrastructure that are available for commuting by bike, because back home in Wells we don't have very good bike lanes. They're like those painted bike gutters on US Route 1, so it's a little more dangerous for me and my coworkers than it could be. So I thought by going on a longer distance trip, it would be I'd be able to see a lot of the nice infrastructure like this that exists, and hopefully maybe go back to Wells and try and get some of it built there. My favorite parts of the East Coast Greenway are on multi-use paths like this. A lot of it is still on sort of low traffic roads, and some of it's on higher traffic routes like Route 1 and Route 17, but the safest and the most fun segments are all off of the road on multi-use paths like this. So it's always fun because when it's safe, people come out and they bike and they walk their dogs, and you see younger people and older people, and there's a wider cross-section of society, so it's nice because it makes it easier to make connections with people. And I think that's what is interesting about the unicycle for me, is it catches people's interest, and it's a good way to start conversations with strangers and have these sorts of interactions with people. Well, for me back home, it saves me a lot of money because I work on a lobster boat downtown as a tour guide. So to park near my work is like $15 for the day. So it's not really affordable for me. So by biking, I bypass traffic and I don't have to pay for parking. And it's also, I'm able to just stop at places along the way and get breakfast or like a snack on the way home. So I think it's connected me more to where I live than when I was driving, and it's also just good exercise, and it's fun to be outside even in like the winter. Well, I don't consider myself to be really an athletic person. I think of it's more a mode of transportation for me than anything else, but it definitely, I guess, makes me feel healthier to bike. And I'm not exerting a ton every day. It's only about 20 miles or so every day, so it was maybe a little difficult to adjust to in the beginning, but at this point it just feels kind of normal. Yeah, well, I mean, the Underline is definitely one of the nicer trails that I've had the opportunity to ride on so far. I haven't seen a ton of it yet, but what I have seen is pretty amazing. I love the train above. It adds a lot of like energy to the space, and you can see people out using it, which is always a good indicator of how well connected a path is and how comfortable it is to ride, is if there's a lot of different people out using it. Yeah.